1936, 1956. And I think this one reason, while Manila Water is not saying this, there's probably then one reason why Manila Water is not getting the whole of the 1,600.
Bad news for Manila water consumers. Starting today, you will experience water interruptions lasting between 6 and 21 hours. We'll tell you which areas are affected later on in the show.
And other than Rizal Medical Center, 4 other hospitals in Quezon City and Mandaluyong are bearing the brunt of the water crisis. The DOH warns they might have to limit admissions into these facilities to prevent patients from getting hospital-acquired infection.
Lawmakers from both houses are now looking into the water shortage that's affecting Manila's East Zone.
Other than the water crisis, the government also has to deal with a kerfuffle over the unsigned 2019 budget. State economic managers are warning that further delays can slow down growth. They've already scaled back GDP projections for this year as well as for next year.
And in Sports Rush, national team member Jaja Santiago continues to make waves in the Japanese V Premier League. The team advances to the Final 8.
Jumpstart your day with the latest news and features. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Charles Lejano. Get in. This is Rush Hour.
And the water crisis is still very much there, piling up problems for households, small businesses, and even essential public services.
The health and education departments believe that these water interruptions will have far-reaching effects on hospital patients and school children. Here are the details.
To help cope with the intermittent water supply, the Ilaya Barangka Integrated School in Mandaluyong decided to buy 10 plastic drums that can store 40 gallons of water each. Barangay officials help provide the school with water rations twice a day. The school has also adapted a few conservation measures.
Para makatipid, ang ginawa namin, kinlose muna namin yung CR sa 3rd floor and we instructed the students na dito muna sa 1st floor magsi-CR una sa lahat para hindi rin mahirapan ang pag-akyat ng mga tubig doon sa taas.
The students were advised to bring their own drinking water. Teachers say a few of their pupils come in late or miss class altogether due to the water shortage in their homes.
Meron namang mga batang minsan nalilate. Hinahatid ng mga magulang, sasabihin ng mga magulang, "Ma'am, pasensya na, napuyat kami sa pag-iipon ng tubig." Ina-accept lang din naman namin, as in naintindihan naman namin kung ano talaga ang nangyayari. Merong mga kukonti lang naman ang mga lumiliban.
A few blocks away at Kawalihan Village in Pasig, over 300 families say it's been a week since they last saw water dripping from their faucets. Bodies of senior citizens buckle under the weight of water rations, which they have to carry themselves. Aida de Guzman and her husband Willie were even forced to set aside cleaning their fish pond.
Mahirap talaga, no? Lalo na kagaya namin, pareho kaming senior. Saan kami kukuha ng tubig? So maghihintay lang kami ng fire truck na magdi-deliver para makakuha kami ng panggamit namin for the whole day. It's really hard for us na walang supply. This is the first time na na-experience namin since we lived here in 1975.
Tsaka ang kailangan natin yung permanent solution, hindi yung temporary lang.
Pails and drums start to form a long queue in the early mornings, and residents wait until evening or early dawn for the arrival of water-bearing fire trucks. That's why other residents simply opt out of taking baths.
Kailangan po namin pumilang umaga kasi marami po pipila na pagka mahuli po kami. Kaya mahirap po talaga makakuha ng tubig. Ganun talaga, walang tubig eh. Wala tayong magagawa.
So,
Tiis-tiis, wisik-wisik na lang. Opo, punas-punas na lang po.
Some business establishments have also suspended operations, and business owners are forced to find other means to earn a living. For instance, Jovi Salvador has shuttered his water refilling station before temporarily opening an ihaw-ihaw stand to provide for his family.
Kailangan po galing sa Nawasa, diretso po sa plated, dadaan ng plated. Kasi pag pinakarga namin ng tangke,
baka mamaya mag-ibang lasa or whatever na yung saan galing yung tubig. Nag-sideline pa ako ng yung barbecue ngayon para may panggastos sa loob ng bahay. Kasi may 2 anak din ako na ginagastusan. Hindi po kaya ng barbecue pag ganyan lang. Yung 3 tao ako nga doon, andun lang. Siyempre, wala akong income, wala din sila.
Residents are frustrated, saying they should have received prior notice of the water interruption. They are also questioning why other nearby subdivisions and villages do not experience water shortage.
Hindi, yun nga ang masakit sa amin eh. Kasi kung may notice kami, at least, di ba, pwede kaming mag-imbak o whatever. Kasi ang pinaka hindi okay doon, yung mga neighboring villages namin, di Capital A, Bago Kapitolyo, meron silang lahat. Kami wala eh. For 1 week na, to be exact, not a drop of water. Tingnan mo naman nun, nakakaawa na nga kami. I think kahit na, I'm very sure na kami lang ang barangay, kami lang ang village na walang water for straight 1 week. Maliit na subdivision pero hindi na ganun kaliit. At saka, bakit yung iba nagkakaroon kami? Hindi. Merong iba, okay nga yung mga 2 hours, 3 hours a day sana. Eh kami wala talaga, totally zero eh.
Good thing that volunteer firefighters are there to save the day.
Ang refill po talaga namin dito simula alas 10, tapos tigil kami ng 3 para magpahinga yung mga tao, tapos balik po kami ng mga 5 hanggang 10 ng gabi na ho yun. Halos buong pong Pineda, Kapitolyo. Pero sa ngayon po mamit, hanggang dito po muna kami. Hanggat makakatulong kami.
But they made it clear that should there be any fire incidents, they would have to respond immediately, as firefighting is still their priority.
Pag may sunog, is kakalas po talaga kami. Pupunta muna kami sa isang fire scene para tumulong din po.
Parts of Metro and Mega Manila will be experiencing water interruptions starting today due to the supply shortage. The MWSS is urging the government to build tunnels that will help concessionaires use water from Angat Dam. Bever Data with the story.
Around 35 barangays in Metro Manila and Rizal still experience water interruption, according to Manila Water. The number is also apart from those households experiencing poor water pressure. The company sees that this situation will last until summer.
Based on our projections, given the level of La Mesa and given what they used to enjoy in terms of demand, this will last through the summer, although there will be points wherein supply will increase.
Maynilad's promise to give 50 million liters per day to Manila Water will be a big help. But despite this, rotational water interruption will still continue.
Ang iniiwasan ko lang po is magbigay ng false expectations na gaganda na. We may have to do more aggressive rotational interruption in order to fill up the reservoirs.
Until now, La Mesa Dam's water level, where Manila Water gets its reserve, remains to be critical, while water allocation from Angat Dam is still limited. But Metropolitan Water Works and Sewerage System says the lack of conveyance tunnels is the reason behind Manila Water's low water supply. This is where the water flows from the point of collection to the facilities for treatment until distribution and disposal.
You see, our tunnels are old. Some are vintage 36, 1936, 1956. And I think this one reason, while Manila Water is not saying this, there's probably one reason why Manila Water is not getting the whole of the 1,600.
MWSS is pushing for the conveyance tunnel project that will serve as an avenue for water from Angat Dam. They are also eyeing the Cardona Rizal Treatment Plant and Kaliwa Dam as a possible water source in the future. The dam is set to finish its construction on 2023, but the budget for the project will not be deducted from the consumers yet. Starting March 14 and 15, Manila Water customers will experience water service interruptions lasting 6 to 21 hours. This will affect the following cities in Metro Manila: Makati, Mandaluyong, Manila, Marikina, Parañaque, Pasig, Pateros, Quezon City, San Juan, and Taguig. Parts of Rizal will likewise experience water interruptions including Taytay, San Mateo, Rodriguez, Cainta, Binangonan, Antipolo, and Angono. The schedule of water interruptions can be seen at Manila Water's Facebook page. For News 5, Beverdera, we are One News.
And lawmakers are also concerned over the water shortage that has hit some parts of the metro. Senators will be conducting a hearing on Tuesday to get to the bottom of the problem. They plan to invite water concessionaires, regulators, and a few government officials to shed light on the issue. Senate Public Services Committee Vice Chairman J.V. Ejercito is urging the government to build another dam and to look for other water sources to service the needs of the growing population. Over at the lower house, Magdalo Congressman Gary Lejano and Bayan Muna Representative Carlos Zarate have both filed separate resolutions urging Congress to investigate the water crisis that has particularly affected residents in Manila's East Zone. Bayan Muna wants to hold concessionaires accountable for the problem, saying they have failed to prepare for the El Nino. On the other hand, Alejano wants to clarify rules on how supply from dams are being managed. He's worried that prioritizing household consumers over farmers and power generators might lead to serious security concerns. And we told you yesterday about the problems that Rizal Medical Center in Pasig is experiencing due to the water shortage. Well, apparently, at least 4 other hospitals in Mandaluyong and Quezon City are in the same boat. Talking to Health Secretary Francisco Duque III, the Philippine Star is reporting that National Center for Mental Health, the National Kidney and Transplant Institute, or the NKTI, and the PCMC, or Philippine Children's Medical Center, as well as the Quirino Memorial Medical Center, or QMMC, are also experiencing very low water pressure. Duque stressed that water is critical in controlling and preventing the spread of infection in healthcare facilities. The health secretary further warned that these hospitals might also need to limit admissions to prevent patients from developing other diseases due to hygiene issues. And the water crisis isn't only limited to residents in some areas of Metro Manila. 2 towns in Davao del Sur are also under a state of calamity due to the dry spell. Farmers in Hagonoy and Matanao fear that their crops might not make it through the summer. The Agriculture Department says the drought has already affected nearly 12,000 hectares of rice fields in the entire Davao region. It is also warning consumers that prices of farm goods might go up in the coming months because of the damage that El Nino might inflict on agricultural areas. The department promises to assist local farmers, though.
Yung water level po is bumaba na siya, and apektado po yung mga tinatawag nating high value crops. Ang direct effect talaga nito is yung mabawasan yung production ng ating mga farmers, especially ang income nila. Nag-line up kami ng mga activities like we're planning to conduct cloud seeding operation po para ma-save po natin yung mga farms na pwede pang i-save and ma-maximize yung production nila.
Pausing for a quick break for now, but right after that, President Duterte failed to end the squabble over the 2019 budget.
And registration for the national ID kicks off in September. Catch more of these stories when we return. Keep it here on Rush Hour.
Mayong buntag to all our Cebuano friends. Good morning. You're still watching Rush Hour. Lawmakers continue to accuse each other of tampering with the 2019 budget after its ratification. The president himself has failed to end this impasse, even after meeting with senators and congressmen in Malacanang Tuesday night.
Senator Ping Lacson is now suggesting to use the bicameral version instead, since the House's version has insertions. But congressmen say there's nothing illegal with the move. Royce Snagit has the story.
Leaders of Congress were summoned by President Rodrigo Duterte in Malacanang on Tuesday night to discuss the alleged illegal realignments in the 2019 national budget. Even after the ratification of the budget proposal by Congress, senators claimed the House members in the lower chamber tweaked the budget. Amid the allegations of undue budget insertions, House Majority Leader Ferdinand Castro said the president simply told them to finalize the budget.
Tapusin ang budget dahil kailangan ito ng bansa.
According to Senate President Tito Soto, the president will only sign the budget into law if he will also sign the document. For Senator Panfilo Lacson, they should just revert back to the bicameral version, as the House version, he said, contains insertions by House Speaker Gloria Arroyo. Lacson claims Arroyo allocated 25 million pesos each to her allies in Congress under the Health Facilities Enhancement Program.
Huwag nila kami pilitin na mag-violate kami ng konstitusyon. Huwag nila kami isama. Kung gusto nila mag-violate, in fact, since Speaker Arroyo already signed the enrolled bill, the House version of the enrolled bill, she's already prone to being charged for falsification because she is already certified on something that did not take place.
But Castro said the House only itemized lump sum appropriations and insisted that there is nothing unconstitutional with that. Sagip Party List Representative Rodante Marcoleta hits back at the Senate, saying senators realigned hidden budget items worth 19 billion pesos.
2.5 billion kinuha po sa National Grooming Program ng DNR. 3 billion sa test day scholarship. Wala na po ito. Kinuha nila ito eh. 11 billion right of way. 2.5 billion foreign assisted projects.
But Senate President Soto said senators modified the budget proposal even before it was ratified by both chambers. For News 5 versus Nagit, 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 Chambers. For News 5 versus Nagit.
Children and infants safe on Philippine roads. The Philippine government has asked the European Union to stop financing several groups that act as fronts for the new People's Army. Representatives from the AFP and the PCOO alerted the EU that some of their beneficiaries use these funds to bolster communist rebellion. But the EU is requesting the government for proof that will support their claim. House Speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo says the registration for the national ID system will start in September. Registrants will have to provide biometrics, their full name, gender, date and place of birth, and blood type to get the ID. Registration is free, and we recall that President Duterte signed the national ID law in August of last year.
And here are the biggest stories today from the Philippine Star. The DILG has acquired more than 250 fire trucks to boost Fire Bureau's operations. Interior Secretary Ed Año says the fire engines will be distributed to cities and municipalities this year until next. This move comes after the BFP reported that some 330 cities and municipalities don't have fire trucks. Presidential spokesman Sal Panelo urges the Catholic priests who are allegedly receiving death threats to report the incidents to authorities. Recall that the CBCP official, Father Jerome
BCP
Siciliano,
official,
Father Jerome
BCP official, Father Jerome BCP official, Father Jerome BCP official, Father Jerome BCP official,
lies with the priests who are accusing the president of being behind these threats. Malacanang is also mourning the passing of MILF Vice Chairman Ghazali Jafar, who passed on Wednesday morning at age 75 due to a cardiovascular disease. Malacanang described the MILF leader as a warrior of peace, as Jafar is among those who led the push for the Bangsamoro Organic Law's ratification. Jafar made his last public appearance in late March when he took his oath as Bangsamoro Transition Commission chairman at the Malacanang Palace. We're going to pause for another quick break, but when we return, the reward for the capture of the suspects and the brutal killing of a teenager in Cebu has now climbed to 1.8 million pesos. And let's learn more about the first Filipina who completed the so-called 7 summits later on at the pit stop. We'll have these stories and a lot more when Rush Hour returns. Keep it here. Good morning. You're still watching Rush Hour. Time to take a look at the headlines from around the nation. The reward for the killer of a 16-year-old girl from Lapu-Lapu City has climbed to 1.8 million pesos. Recall that the local government first pledged 1 million pesos. Later on, one American retiree based in Ormoc added 500,000, while the Cebu Provincial Council and Police Advisory Council offered another 300,000 pesos to the reward money. Based on the latest medical examination, the teenager's tongue, esophagus, and trachea are missing. Experts, however, failed to find any indication that the victim was raped. Authorities are now hunting down 3 persons who are believed to be involved in the crime. President Duterte has expressed his contempt for the gruesome murder himself. Authorities earlier said that the perpetrators might have been high when they killed the teenager.
Rapin yung 5-year-old na bata ng pare. Mas kahapon may pinatay ang mga niya, binalatan yung muka. Tapos yung iba, 4 months old. Ngayon yung nag-rape ng 4 months old, patay na yun. Mauna ka sa impyerno, patay na yun. Human rights, baka hindi nyo alam, try to dig into the case.
At least 20 members of the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters, or BIFF, have been killed by government forces in a series of clashes in Maguindanao. The military has been focusing anti-terrorism operations in Salibu, in Pagatin, in Mamasapano, and Sharif Aguac. The AFP has lost 1 soldier, while 11 others have been wounded. A U.S. Navy vessel docked in Manila after sailing through the disputed South China Sea. The USS Blue Ridge commanding officer Eric Anduze said it was a safe passage and they had, quote, professional interactions with the Chinese Navy in the area. The visit comes weeks after U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said that Washington will defend Manila if its forces are attacked in the disputed waters.
We did have some interaction with Chinese Navy. All of our interactions were safe and professional. Really nothing significant to report, but we are experiencing the same thing. As you know, we go, we fly, we navigate, and we operate wherever the law allows us to do so.
We're going to take a quick break from all this news, at least for now, because we're taking the time out to honor every female strength and skills this March. Of course, it is, Charles, you know this, it is National or International Women's Month, not just National Women's Month, it is the UN International Women's Month. And to talk to us more about this, we have with us in the studio again, Karina De Yondon. She is now officially the first Filipina mountaineer to climb all the tallest peaks of each of the 7 continents called the Seven Summits. If you know this. And we have Karina back. Remember, we were talking to Karina before. She was on the show. She was just about to do the 7th summit. And now you've done it, Karina. Welcome back to Rush Hour.
Thank you, Ms. Shawn and Sir Charles. Good morning po sa lahat ng nanonood sa atin.
Okay, so how was that climb, that 7th summit? I remember, pinag-uusapan natin, you were raising money for that. Diba, busy ka fundraising. Finally, nakapag-fundraise ka and paalis ka pa lang nun and you were training. Did all the training pay off? Tell us about the experience.
Yes, the experience on doing the 7 summits was a lot of discoveries and a lot of learnings because we crossed new topographies of mountains and we eat unusual foods because it's really a unique experience and we met a lot of new and amazing people along the way. So it's a lot of more of new learnings and discoveries, and with finding all the fundings, well, we were successful. We have enough, but not more than enough.
Not more, sakto
Yeah,
lang.
sakto lang
for the
talaga.
trip.
We're very happy.
That was the first mountain that you had to climb, for the
Yes,
funding.
Sir
But then
Charles.
the mountain that you actually did climb was in Antarctica, I understand. I'm pretty sure it was cold to begin with. And secondly, were there any other people that accompanied you on your trip?
Yes, the group for us is composed of 7-member team, and I'm only the one from Asia. Most of them from Europe, Spain, Lithuanians, UK, Russian, Norway. So exposed talaga sila sa bundok. At
At saka
alpine na
yung
bundok.
climate, di ba?
Climate.
Parang sobra tayong dehado siguro yung mga
But
hindi
going there is a limited slot lang flying out from Punta Arenas, Chile. So we're very lucky na nasama tayo doon. Ngayon na season, siguro ang nakaklimb ng Mount Vinson is only like 250 people. So hindi talaga ganun kadami. And then few Asians
ever even reach Antarctica, I think, in general.
In general. Nakakaiyak.
Pinaka na yata yung cruise pinaka the most na yung mga...
But medyo wavy yung dagat. So,
pati yun
nakakatakot.
nakakatakot. So there we see a photo of you with the parang igloo ba yan?
Yeah.
not a real...
And then, busy kami paribok ng tickets kasi kailangan namin humabol naman sa New Year after nung lagpasan namin ng Christmas doon.
Pero wala pa rin.
Wala pa rin. Ganun talaga yan.
At saka medyo harsh itong winter, diba? I mean,
That's the summer. Summer in Antarctica.
Summer sa
Summer
Antarctica.
pa yan.
So, pag summer yon, buong
Oo nga
24
pala,
hours.
Southern Hemisphere.
kabilang dulo.
Summer pala siya, pero malamig pa rin.
Malamig at saka buong araw siya maliwanag.
So, 24-hour days.
Days na
So,
mahirap.
never mo nakita yung parang kumbaga, hindi siya naging gabi for 1 month.
Oo.
Pero kailangan mo pa rin gumawa ng igloo.
Kailangan mo gumawa ng iglo para for emergency case at kailangan mo ding matulog kaya kailangan mong maaga doon dumating para maka-adjust sa time zone.
So, sasadyain mo talaga.
And then you have to cover your eyes kasi kailangan mong pilitin makatulog kasi sobrang liwanag sa labas.
Hirap matulog.
Mahirap matulog pag nasanay ka na may dilim. Like dito,
Dito kasi 12 hours, di ba? Sa ibang bansa, parang nag-iiba eh. Pero Karina, ito, I'm sure, sawang-sawa ka na sa question na to and sawang-sawa ka na and everyone must be asking you, so, what's next for Karina Doyondon?
Exactly.
I mean, you've climbed all the tallest summits in each of the 7 continents. Ano pa bang meron?
Sir Charles and Michelle, ang dami naman nating pwedeng gawin kasi patuloy andun yung pangarap natin. We could do K2 kung meron lang sponsors. Ayaw ko nang umakyat nang wala akong sponsors kasi ang hirap. Pwede natin gawin ang North Pole and South Pole basta may sponsors. But with this, wala pa naman tayong sponsors, gusto ko lang din sabihin na walang saysay yung pagtapos ko ng 7 summits. I'm bragging there na I've been to the highest point in every continent. With this, I bring down with me the lessons and the values learned from climbing the 7 summits. And I would love that to share to the young ones, to inspire them to chase their big dreams in their life. Because climbing those 7 summits is just symbolic for us Filipinos and for the young ones. Kasi hindi nila kailangan umakyat ng 7 summits kasi masyadong mahal at baka hindi kaya ng time nila. But they can use this 7 summits of mine and ours that this accomplishment is just simply symbolic for them. Na these are their dreams and challenges in life that kaya din nilang gawin. Kaya nilang lagpasan, kaya nilang mag-summit at bumaba ng very accomplished person after the journey.
So it can be your own 7 summits. It doesn't have to literally be isang mataas na bundok.
Yes, ma'am.
Karina, like, it is International Women's Month, no? And of course, you are one of the most lauded Pinays when it comes to climbing mountains and summiting, I guess, seemingly insurmountable obstacles, physical obstacles. Is this gonna be part of your advocacy moving forward talaga? It's really, feminism, female empowerment, ganyan, and youth advocacy.
Yes, we are there already inspiring all the Filipinas to continue chasing their dream and to be empowered by their dreams and aspiration in life. But of course, I have to go back, Mission, to my normal work kasi ang bread and butter ko, nagtatrabaho pa ako full-time sa Coast Guard. Our we have already, our function and our work in the Coast Guard is already an advocacy in environment. And for me, being there as a woman in the male-dominated organization is already like inspiring women that, hey, we can work in this kind of organization and still excel. And I think Filipinas are like that. We Filipinas are really like determined, we're very talented, we're very focused, and we have this unsinkable spirit that if we want to reach something in our life, hindi talaga natin bibitawan yung dreams natin. And we have these words of never give up.
Never give up. Totoo yun.
Very Pinoy actually, and you are in yourself a symbol of strength as you're able
Thank
to
you, Sir
plant that
Charles.
Philippine flag on all of those 7 summits
With an igloo.
with an igloo. In
Who
fact,
would think a Filipina could make an igloo again? Karina, thank you very much. Symbol of, the Filipinas' unsinkable spirit. Karina Doyondon, thank you very much. The first Filipina to complete the 7 summits and make it twice on our show.
Thank
Good morning. All right, time now to pause for another quick break. But right after that, we have Jaja Santiago, this time continuing to make waves in Japan's Premier Women's League.
and what's this new basketball shootout in town? Here's a clue. It involves the San Miguel Beermen and this WWE belt. That story and more when Rush Hour returns. Keep it here.
Okay.
best time to start construction projects.
Bim Santos, we are One News.
And that report is also the headline in today's edition of Business World. Again, our economic managers have slashed GDP targets for 2019 and 2020, citing delays in this year's spending plan. The Interagency Development Coordination Committee has lowered their economic growth forecast for 2019 to just 6 to 7% from the previous 7 to 8%. The DBCC projects the economy to grow 6.5 to 7.5% next year. That is also down from the original target of 7 to 8%. According to the DBCC, delays in the enactment of the 2019 budget will make it very difficult for the government to catch up with spending, which could push growth to an 8-year low. Also from today's front page, we have President Duterte failing to break the deadlock over the 3.75 trillion peso budget. The chief executive met with congressional leaders in Malacanang on Tuesday evening, but Senate Majority Leader Mig Zubiri said the House and Senate did not come up with a consensus. The Senate stood its ground that the lower house should transmit to the president the version of the budget that does not contain post-ratification adjustments. And vehicle sales slightly recovered in February, but it was not enough to send the year-to-date performance to positive territory. Joint data from the Chamber of Automotive Manufacturers of the Philippines, or CAMPI, and the Truck Manufacturers Association showed sales edging up 0.6% to 26,300 units from the 26,100 units during the same month last year. Year-to-date car sales totaled 53,200 units, down 8% from nearly 58,000 units registered in the first 2 months of 2018.
Here are the headlines from around the world. 2 hooded young men opened fire at a high school in southeastern Brazil, leaving at least 10 people dead. The shooting started when students were on their morning snack break at a school in Suzano near Sao Paulo. 2 gunmen, appearing to be between 20 and 25 years old, killed themselves after the attack. 17 other individuals, most of whom are students, have been injured. At least 100 children are feared trapped after a building collapsed in Lagos, Nigeria. The 4-story building is home to a primary school. State authorities refuse to give a death toll as rescue efforts continue, but some reports indicate that at least four have been killed in the accident. Nigeria is frequently hit by building collapses, mostly due to poor construction materials and weak enforcement of regulations. And an Arab woman's online cooking show turned into a physical culinary school in Baqa, Al Gharbia, Israel. 31-year-old Mayada Morar started a Facebook page for sharing Middle Eastern recipes back in 2014. Hasa Kitchen immediately gained 180,000 followers composed of Israeli Arab ladies. She later on launched her cooking school in February, and only 20 women are allowed to register per session. But Morar says hundreds of applicants are on the waiting list. After a quick break, shout out to all volleyball fans. Filipina volleyball Jaja Santiago is making big waves in Japan.
We'll have that and more coming right up. Keep it here on Rush Hour.
Maabiga buklas to our Bolinao-speaking friends in Pangasinan. We fast break now to Sports Rush. Magnolia gets their second straight win after trouncing Colombian Jeep 109-83. The Hotshots enjoyed a 48-38 lead in the second quarter, but the Jeep trimmed the gap to 4 in the third frame. Magnolia did not give any more chances and extended their advantage to 75-57 heading into the final quarter. Ian Sangalang led Magnolia with 16 points and was named the best player of the game. NLEX bounced back from a two-game skid after dismantling an undermanned Alaska 91-70. J.R. Quinyahan drilled back-to-back trays to give the Road Warriors a 44-35 lead in the second quarter. The Aces failed to deflate a 50-36 cushion heading into the third quarter, and NLEX went on to hold a 28-point advantage with 2 minutes left in the game. Raul Soyud then scored under the basket to seal their victory. And Jaja Santiago continues to make waves in the V Premier Women's League in Japan. She powered Ageo Medics with 16 points, 13 kills, and 3 blocks during their recent match against Hitachi Rival. The Medics later on succumbed to Hitachi 25-16, 18-25, 17-25, 25-22, and 11-15. Ageo clinched and ended the regular season with an 11-9 win-loss record, good enough for 6th place. The squad has advanced to the final 8.
And the PBA All-Star Weekend is not happening until the end of March, but already some of the Beermen are already into their own version of a three-point shootout. So, who's being hailed as the king of Trey? Lynn Olivario finds out.
One up as well, Arwin, another 3. Ayun na!
San Miguel has it all. Talented players. Pero ang mas mahalaga sa individual skills, of course, the teamwork. Pagkatapos ng practice, ilang players ng San Miguel ang naiiwan sa gym. Yan ay para sa kanilang friendly three-point shootout. At stake, this belt. The current champ, Terrence Romeo. The mechanics are pretty simple. The champion chooses the spot. They each have 10 points. Each miss, -1. Ang mahigpit na magkalaban, The Bro and Alex Cabagnot. But the champion retains his belt.
10 time!
And the Bro doesn't shy away from reminding his teammates about his feat.
10 time. Good game. Baklase competition. Sobrang kakaiba yung competition. Talagang lahat shooter. Ginawa namin yung best namin para makuha tong belt na to. And still, WBO Welterweight Champion of the World!
Paalala pa ni Terrence, partida, magapa yung kamay niya.
Ako, hindi na ako magsasalita kasi hinahayaan ko na yung belt ang magsabi. Nandito sa leeg ko.
To get some aircon, ruin my momentum.
And, para sabihin ko, tingnan mo, maga.
Sakit din
Swelling. Swelling hand. Still. But, sabi ko nga, no excuses. Kailangan ko lumaban kahit may masakit sa akin.
He's also quick to post a reminder on his Instagram stories about his feet.
Anong oras na? Ay nga pala, may relo nga pala.
Pero kahit sina Alex, Paul at Von, hindi nagpapatalo sa asaran.
Okay, it's time to take a nap. Okay, go to sleep first. And then after that, we're going to take a chartered flight to Bora for the long weekend. Okay? You were gone, but that's all the thing of the past. You're back home now. Nag-start to kasi, you know, we were doing shooting competitions and gusto namin talaga to challenge ourselves, especially for bragging rights. I think with Paul, Terrence, and Shawn, they're the better shooters talaga. So me being an ultimate competitor, I wanted to challenge myself to be an elite.
All joking aside, I have the ultimate respect for these guys. Elite shooters. I have the ultimate respect for all of them.
Outside, we're having fun. But syempre, sa loob, kailangan competitive kami. So, nag-fuel pa rin yung competitive spirit ng bawat isa.
Hindi pa tapos ang kantsawan as they've given each other nicknames. Paul is BK for Benevolent King. Alex is CK for Compassionate King.
Ako compassionate. Kung gusto niyo saan niyo gusto tumira, sige, okay lang, game lang ako.
Von Pesumal is the Prince.
The Prince. He's the Prince. Prince of Persia, the East, that's the East side.
While Terrence is PK for Privileged King.
For instance, he's injured. He needs a privilege or anything.
No, I don't like that.
So,
Hindi nila ako binigyan ng privilege kahit injured ako. So no excuses, lumaban pa rin ako and I still.
But Terrence would much rather be called
Hardworking.
hard work. Hard work / privilege king.
No denying the Beermen are having a good time. But for them, this is more than just fun and games.
Masaya kasi yung masaya kasi yung environment. Walang inggitan.
Dami kasing intermission.
Kumbaga, lahat masaya para sa isa't isa.
For News 5, Lynn Olivario, we are One News.
And here are the stories to watch out for later on this Thursday. Health Secretary Francisco Duque is set to visit the National Kidney Transplant Institute to check on the hospital's condition amid the ongoing water shortage.
We are also tracking the campaign of senatorial candidates. Hugtong ng Pagbabago Bets continue their Bicol tour in Legazpi, Albay. Grace Poe will woo voters in Bataan while Mar Rojas will be in his bailiwick, Iloilo. Other Ocho Derecho bets, on the other hand, will be in Isabela.
And Chief Justice Lucas Bersamin is set to lead the launch of the Davao City Justice Zone.
Catch more of the markets later with Danny and I on Business World Live. I'm Charles Lejano.
And get on the day's agenda, Asito Beltran catches up with former House Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez. And that's coming up next. I'm Shawn and we are One News.